Hi friends, I'm Titi Isang and welcome to this episode of Cocktail Convos. Okay, before we get into the nitty gritty, let me just let my guest introduce herself.
Hi guys, I'm Felicia.
Hi Felicia. This episode is going to be a difficult one, but hopefully a helpful one as well. As I think everybody knows, there are like the standard stages of grief that are there on the internet. But I don't think everybody deals with it the same way. So I want us to kind of talk about it and see how we both dealt with it separately, like individually. Just to give you some backstory, not too much, but just a little. We both lost our dad. We're not sisters, but individually.
Yeah.
So the first stage is denial.
Bro,
I feel like you already have a lot to say. So
yeah.
Let me let you go.
It hit me hard. I feel like it took a while before I finally accepted that this person is gone and no more in your life. Like I was in denial for the longest, even to the point that my closest friends, I couldn't bring myself to actually voice it out loud. I lost this very important person in my life. I couldn't bring myself to say it because I'm like how? Like one day you're here and then you're gone. Like how does that even happen?
Yeah, that I can relate in that sense, because even when I did start telling people, like when I'm typing it, when I say my dad is dead, I'll
you be like, yo,
that's not normal. So at some point I started saying my dad has passed, which is like when in my life have I ever used that word? But it was just like I think it just made it not too real to say passed instead of died, because just saying it out loud was like crazy to me. And I think I even went through that stage for not too long, but for a bit until, because he wasn't physically here living with me, so it wasn't so it wasn't
Nigeria.
My parents live in Nigeria and me, I'm in Canada. So it wasn't like there was something that was physically taken. It's not like every time I come home I used to go and greet him and now I don't greet him. It was like I talk to him once a week. So the routine did not change. So it's like my head, it didn't click in my head.
I feel what you're saying.
Yeah. And I felt like that until I actually went to Nigeria, because I went to Nigeria for the burial. So until I actually went to Nigeria and I saw the banner and they're like from this year to this year, that I feel like that's when everything really sunk in for me. Yeah. So for you, when did that denial stage end, or are you still there?
No, I feel like I've reached an acceptance. But for me, when I realized this shit is real, is when I don't know, I'll be having dreams, because I don't know if the dream can differentiate reality from, I don't know, because in my dream I'll still be seeing him in my dream,
right? And
then I'll wake up and I'm like, oh my god, this guy is actually no more in my life. I don't know, it's just weird. I can't really remember the exact time, because I didn't go for his burial. It was only my older brother that went for his burial. But I can't really remember the exact time that I said, wow,
this is it.
This is it. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Fair enough. So the next stage is anger. Did you?
I feel like I went through all the stages very intensely.
Yeah. Was it, who were you angry with? Yourself, with God, with your dad?
No, I was angry with myself. I don't know if you had a close relationship with your dad, but for me, I didn't really have a close relationship with my dad. And I think before he passed, I don't know if he was trying to get closer to me, but he would be calling me. Me and my dad were never best friends. You're my guy, that kind of stuff. Is you're my father, But I noticed that he was trying to get closer to me. He would be calling me all the time. At one point he was calling me often, and I'd be like, man, stop me too much. So I was angry with myself that I didn't really get
that opportunity.
Get that opportunity to be close to him, to hear him out, all that stuff. And I was kind of angry with myself because okay, so the reason why my dad passed was because he had a stroke. And I started feeling like, because you know there are different things that can lead to stroke, like when you're stressed out, or let's say you don't have loved ones around you. Because my dad was like the only one in Nigeria, and then all of us were here. So I now started feeling bad because like, damn, like I literally didn't have the opportunity to give him as much emotional support. Like,
so were you like blaming yourself?
Yeah, like I was kind of like blaming myself. Like I wasn't blaming anyone else. I was just like blaming myself. Like, damn, like what if I called him more, or like, you know, just when he sent me those memes, those Nigerian friends memes, I wouldn't have like, you know, ignored it, all those things. I started like blaming myself. I don't think, did I blame God? I kind of questioned God a lot. Like,
I think that's
like,
so like normal, because even me, I tried not to. Like when it will come to my head, I'll be like, just, you know, don't. But I feel like that's the natural as a human. It's natural to be like, especially for me specifically, the night before he passed, or the night Nigerian time is but let's say the night before he passed, I had like, that was the night that I had the most faith that things were going to get better. So for that to now be the same time that he actually died, it was like, why did I even try, kind of thing. But at the same time, I don't know, everything happens for a reason, and
I think that was one statement I hated hearing actually. But now, you know, I understand.
In hindsight, that's a very shit thing to say to somebody. Don't ever say that to somebody. Like,
someone,
I will never.
God has a reason.
That's the wrong time.
Yeah.
I would never say that. But what I really said during that time was, it is well. I don't know what that means, but like, that's just what comforted me at that time. Because that everything happened for a reason. I've also thought about that and be like, what is the reason? There's no reason that you can give me that can justify it. I don't
like, why would you say that?
So there's no really justified reason. So that's not a good like comfort statement. Wrong place, wrong time.
And sometimes it's actually hard comforting someone that has lost their loved ones. Like, what do you really say?
Did you know what you wanted from people? Like, did you know like what you want to hear at that time? Did you know?
In the moment, like, I didn't really know, and I don't think what anyone would have said to me would have changed anything. But like, as time was going by, like, you know, I was like, oh damn, I wish people were like there for me more, like would come see me, stuff like that. I wouldn't just say like, I'm not really calling people out, so not just say like, you know, what's
there for you, and
then
not
like
here.
you're not really there. Like, you know, people that were there, they know themselves that they were there, but it's like, just I wanted people to be like, to hear me more, I guess, listen to me more, you know, be there for me in any way, shape or form, not just
but what does being there mean? Because I guess to be devil's advocate in the other people's defense of like saying I'm here for you, they don't really know how to be there. They are being there is that I've told you I'm here, so if you want to talk to me, you can talk to me.
And I guess, well, I've changed a lot from then. Like, then I'll just, you know, expect people to read my mind. I think now I'm better with communication, but then I'll expect people to like
to know what you want.
Yeah, come and like see me, stuff like that. Like, I don't know, like things like that. But for now, I would, you know, open my mouth and say, oh, like, you know, let's go out, let's do that. And another thing, like, it's kind of confusing, like what I'm saying now, because it's like, then did I really want to like leave the house? Did I really want to like do things? It's like I would always like be having mood swings. So
I feel like the answer to that is that you don't really know what you want.
At that time I didn't really know what I wanted. I
feel like same though, but I didn't know. Actually, I knew what I wanted. I wanted to be alone when I want to be alone, and then I'll reach out to you when
you want.
Yeah, but also in that sense, it doesn't mean that I must be the one to call you. You can call me, then if I'm not in the mood, I ignore your call. But I need to make the effort so that I know that you tried. So I feel like that's a valid time to be like,
I think I was a terrible friend there.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's like, they're there saying they're there for you, and then they'll text you, and well, they'll text me and stuff like that, and then I will just like ignore, or let's say, by them being there, they actually want to see me, and then I'm like, I don't really feel like going out or shit like that. I'll just be canceling. Yeah.
But I feel like part of being a good friend is being patient in times like that. So
true.
I think we can cut it so flat. The next stage is bargaining. At that point, you're like, I'll do anything for this person to come back, or you're like, God, if you do this for me, then that kind of thing. So did you ever go through that? Or
I don't think I really bargained. Like, I know at one point, like, I was really, really depressed, and I was like, oh, just, God, just take me right now, that kind of thing. Like, I was really depressed, but I don't really remember saying like, oh, God, take me and bring this person back.
Yeah.
Like, I really wanted him to come back because the whole world felt like it was ending. But I don't think did you like ever?
No, I would say a little bit. I feel like this kind of worked with my denial stage as well, too, because there was some point that I was like, I know it's not going to happen, and I know it won't be normal if it happens, but if he stands up right now, like, I won't be mad. Like, I'll take it like that kind of thing, even though I knew. So that was kind of also me. So I guess I did bargain a little bit in the sense that, God, please, I don't care, just if he stands up right now, I'll take it like that kind of thing. So that was my own sense of bargaining that worked hand in hand with my denial, because obviously that was not going to happen.
Yeah, like, what do you mean you're gone? Like, I don't know, it took a while though to actually finally like accept it, and it was really hard. It's really hard accepting it, and also having to tell people like, oh, when people ask you like, so how's your mom? Like, oh, so how's your dad? Oh, like, have to have that conversation. Like, till today I still hate having that conversation.
I feel like there are a lot of people that in my life that still don't fully know, because even in that part of my denial, when like I didn't really tell anybody actually.
Really?
I told one person because she was kind of there during, like, leading up to it.
Yeah.
So I kind of told her. But then everybody else that I officially told, they asked first, because I posted some cryptic. Because this was not even on my main Instagram. This is like on my Facebook account. I was like, I don't even want to. I don't want to say it out loud, kind of thing. So even when I wanted to post it and like officially post it, I was like, I can't even bring myself to type it. So I would just post something and like maybe post him and do like a heart or some like thing like that, and then people that I actually told, they came and asked after that, and that's how I told them. But I've not actually said it fully to anyone, like unprovoked. Even when, you know how like I went to do my nails and my lashes and stuff before I went back to Nigeria, and you know how they have random conversations with you. Even then I would say, oh, my parents are in Nigeria. Like I never would say, oh, my mom, like, so things like that. Even when I got back, even till now, I would really say like, oh, just my mom. I still say like my parents.
Yeah, sometimes I still say just my parents.
So I guess I'm still in denial.
The stages too, I feel like sometimes it don't even happen like accordingly, or when you feel like you've accepted it,
then something else
just happens, and you're like, oh, like, what's going on? Or when you feel like you're no more depressed or stuff like that, something will just happen that will trigger it and put you back in that hole.
But do you know how long you were like in that depressed phase? Like, how long did it take you to get out of that?
I feel like till I graduated. Like, after I graduated, it felt like, things were better, but it's like something else in life will now lead to depression. But
so what's the timeline of when it happened to you when you graduated?
It was 2 years. But I feel like even after I graduated, like,
it's like on and off.
It's like on and off, because I still remember, I don't know if it was last year, but I remember like crying, like I was in tears. I was like, oh, I miss my dad. I was literally crying and all, and I'm just like, you think you're better, and then suddenly, even like at work, at work, you just remember something that will just trigger it. Like it's very, very weird. I think it's always on and off. Like I don't know if you can fully like
get over it.
Yeah, like get over it. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, I don't think so as well. Because I've had a conversation like that with somebody, and they were like, they didn't say it like that, but they kind of meant like, okay, are you over it now?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think it's something.
That's like a punch, like on the face. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
over it?
but I don't think it's something I can get over. You can get used to the situation. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you used to call your dad every day, now you know, okay, you're not going to call him every day. So you kind of get used to that. You get used to him not being there, but you don't ever stop being sad that he's not there, essentially. Because
things in life just remind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, now like weddings, especially weddings, I get very emotional. Yes. I get so emotional. Like I remember like one of my family friends' wedding, like she also lost her dad. So her husband now like made a whole speech and everything. And I was just like, she was crying. But you just see me in the corner like bawling, shedding tears because it's like I feel you so much. Weddings? No.
Just on that wedding topic as well. Me, I'm not the kind of person that has like planned my whole dream wedding in my head. But the only part of that I've thought about is that like father-daughter dance, and it's like damn.
Or walking down the aisle. Yeah, I feel that so much. Like, cause it's like after that happens, that was immediately like what I thought of. I'm like, damn. So who's gonna do this? Or like when I graduate, like. So you're not going to be there when I graduate, or like different things in life. Like that's why I feel like you can't fully like get over it,
because there's something that's going to come up
and remind you like all the time. All the time.
Yeah, I agree. It's the next phase, which I think we've already talked about, is depression. I feel like that phase.
That was like my longest.
Yeah, and I think it's not even like a phase like that. Like a step is like it can come anytime. It can come at the beginning. It can come when you think you've gotten over it, and then it just comes back. So I don't think I had like a proper, I don't know, because I feel like depression is a very triggering word. Like it's a big deal. So I don't like to like put that on myself when that, like, if I feel like that was not the case. So I don't think it's fully depression, but I did have a moment of like more sadness than I feel now. Like I don't think I was ever depressed, like in my bed from morning to night crying. I feel like it was always okay, I'm fine during the day, then when it's time to go to bed, then I remember and I'm like,
when you have something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always at night.
Exactly. Or like when I'm in the shower, because you know how in the shower you have all the most random thoughts
in your mind. I agree. Yeah.
So that's the time that I would like think about these kind of things, and that's when the sadness would hit. But I think it's also because I was distracting myself every other time.
Oh my God, same.
So when the thought comes, at that point you can't really chase it away. So that was my own kind of depression phase, which thankfully I don't think it really lasted very long for me. So I'm very thankful for that. Of course, like I'll still get sad if I need to be. I don't know if that makes sense. But I don't feel
my bad.
But I don't feel anywhere as shit as I felt earlier on in the process. Yeah.
My depression phase, like initially when like I heard that my dad died and all, like I was very, very sad. But like immediately I feel like I found things to just like distract myself. It was not like I think months after, because I remember like at that time I wasn't working, and then everybody in my house was like, everybody has to get a job now, like like try and provide for yourself. I remember at work I will always be distracting myself, and I remember one time I just like got back home from work and I just broke down. I feel like that's when it hit me, like months later.
Yeah.
Like I just saw a picture, because my brother bought this like frame for my birthday with like family members and stuff. And I just looked at the picture and I broke down. I started crying. And I had housemates then, like they literally rushed to my room And then that's when I started seeing a therapist and everything. But it was like later on that it hit me, and it hit me hard because like I was just using things to fill the void, like school, other things to fill the void. But then that's when I broke down, like
But going to the part of like you having to get a job and things like that, do you think the fact that you also kind of lost a provider made it hit harder?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
like it hit so hard because I'm like yeah, there was one point I was spoiled. Like even before like my dad died, he literally sent me money for my hair and everything. So I don't know, everything was so difficult because I was like, will I even finish school? I started thinking about all these things, like how am I supposed to like work a job? Because school was already hard. Let me tell you that, like university was already hard. So to now be working a job, to now be dealing with grief, like, because I couldn't just stop. And that's what I hate about this, like, life just does not stop for you. You have to
keep
on
go back
going.
to work. You have to go back and
I can't just say, oh, fuck school, like I'm dropping out. Like I had to keep on going with all these things. So that hits hard because all I was thinking about was like my mom, like, having like the provider now, like what's going to happen. Yeah, that was just not that was not it at all.
I asked that because I feel like the opposite was the case for me. I didn't have to worry about that because I'm done with school. Like I'm the youngest, all my siblings have been done. So and I feel like that is what I used to also comfort myself because I was like, okay, at least he saw me graduate, he has done everything that he needed to do for himself. Like he has achieved a lot in his personal life and like for his family, and he has made an impact in the world essentially. So I think that's what helped me comfort myself. So I just assumed it to be the opposite for you and kind of make it
harder. Especially because like uni is already depressing enough, so you can just imagine
any small thing
can just trigger it. I did not enjoy university. Like I'm really envious of those UK girls or Nella Rose, their uni life.
I don't think anybody really.
Well, we don't really know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We really don't know.
They don't show us when they are suffering and crying in the library.
That's so true.
Yeah. Okay, but the final phase is supposed to be acceptance. Are you there yet, or are we still working towards it? Yeah, man.
I feel like I'm there, but like I said earlier about like when you have a dream and then because like sometimes I see him in my dreams, and I wake up, I'm like, oh, and then it now hits me like, oh no, like
it's not real.
It's just a dream, like he's still gone and all that. So, but I feel like I've come to an acceptance, like I've accepted it now. Yeah. What about you?
I agree. Honestly, I feel like my stages, I went through them fairly quickly. I don't know everybody else's experience, but based on how I imagined I would be if I was in this situation, I think I dealt with it quite quickly and well, because this just happened like at the end of the year last year, like December, this past December. And right now I'm able to talk about it right now without even like being teary-eyed or anything like that. So thankfully I have been able to accept it. And again, I think like I said, what I used to comfort myself is the things that I mentioned, and I think that's what has also helped me kind of come this far, along with like my faith in like
that's very important.
Yeah, because again, let me not go back to everything happens for a reason, but I think in my specific situation, it's worked out the best it could based on the circumstances. Yeah, so I think I've been privileged enough to go through that acceptance phase quite early on in the process.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. Not me about to cry after saying.
I'm kidding. But let it out. I have a question.
Okay.
So like, how would you like? What advice would you give to someone like that's going through it? Because you sounded like, I don't know, when you were talking about your experience and everything, it sounded like you handled it differently?
Yeah. I can't say. I'm going to be honest. I can't say because I don't think I did anything differently. I think it's just I think it just worked out well for me. I don't know how that sounds, but yeah, I think the emotions just came with like in the right amount for me. I think also I had support. I live with my sister. She has a good support system who supported me as well. As well as like my other sisters that I don't live with. But just I had that support system and I knew that they were here for me if worse comes to worse. So I think that's what helped me. Because I'm sure if I was living by myself, and that's why I say everything happens for a reason. Because if I was in this Toronto or if I was still in Ottawa, I don't know how I would have even coped with it. So just having people there that are also going through the same thing, and you know that they are there to support you and they are checking in and making sure you're okay, that helped me. And also just going back to things that I used to comfort myself. So obviously my situation and someone else's situation is not the same, but I think you just have to hold on to whatever that thing is that comforts you. Whether is that like me, like I said, he was a good person. He did what he needed to do while he was here. Whether it's your faith in which worked hand in hand for me in saying that, being that he came and he did what he needed to do and he did it the right way. I know that only where he's going is only better. And so things like that, or also the fact that I didn't want him to be here suffering because he was sick. I didn't want him to be here suffering, so I rather he be there enjoying, kind of thing. So those are the things that I used to comfort myself. So whatever the case may be for you, whether is that, I don't know, the same situation, maybe it's the same situation and you're like, okay, he's somewhere better, maybe that's what's going to comfort you. Maybe it's like, I didn't like him anyways, like what is going I don't know what your situation is, but I think it's again just finding that thing that you feel can comfort you and really holding on to it and remembering it, and having the support system. Having the support system is sometimes it's not something that you can really control, 100%. But in a lot of situations you can, because things like I'm there for you. Reach out to those people that have said they are there for you and see if they will really be there. But
don't assume that they can read your mind and all that shit.
Reach out when you need, even if you don't have personal relationship, even if it's therapy.
Oh yeah, therapy was so essential at one point in my life. And I honestly was grateful for having roommates that actually cared enough to enter my room when I was crying. But yeah, just like, don't always try and hold it in. Don't hold those emotions. And like, there are some people that they don't feel like they should be crying, like, or expressing themselves. Like, feel all the feels so that it doesn't just hit you after work and you're crying.
Right.
Feel all the feels. Have people around you that you can talk to.
Yeah, feeling all the feels is very important too, because I feel like I said I didn't cry or I didn't, whatever the case may be that I said, but it's very important. Just because I didn't cry during the day, I was still going at night to cry and let it out. So whatever and however you feel comfortable letting things out, as far as you're not hurting other people, then do that.
Yeah, that was good. I liked all your advice.
Thanks. You would have thought that I'm so wise. But yeah, thank you so much, Felicia, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I know it's not an easy topic, but
who would have thought I'll be here talking about this on big YouTube.
And thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we've helped somebody, or at least you've just been entertained by our sorrows. Who knows? Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, you already know the vibes. And let me tell you twice.
Subscribe, like, share to everybody.